Hi.
Hi.
Let's talk about my humbling moment. Sex talk.
Ooh.
And your fear of needles.
My overcoming a fear of needles, which is an interesting story. So we'll talk a bit about that more later. So let's start this off. What's your mom moment? I'm excited to hear this.
I had two, and I had a really hard time deciding. So I'm going to tell you about my humbling moment and then something else that happened that was like pretty big. So I went into a store and realized when I looked down wearing these here pants right here, they were inside out. And I was like, wait, these look strange. Why do they look like that? And I looked down and I was like, oh my gosh, they're inside out. So I went someplace and fixed them and came back out and I felt better.
So, true story, I legitimately did the same thing with a pair of yoga pants 2-3 weeks ago.
What?
It's my pair that are gray that have like, they almost look like they're inside out, but I actually had them inside out with like the tag hanging out the back and stuff. So,
oh my God.
You're not alone. I'm sure some of you have done that too, right?
Yeah, I was like, I hope nobody noticed, but whatever. It totally humbled me. So,
okay.
My next...
that was not the story. When you said you had a humbling moment.
I was humbled again, but this was in parenting.
Okay, let's hear it.
Our older daughter, she's 11, she has gotten into graphic novels. I must be extremely naive, but I did not think that I had to worry about graphic novels. I didn't know that older kids, like high school, beyond, enjoy reading graphic novels.
So, sure, adults enjoy reading them.
I just didn't think about that, right? I was like, oh, she's just reading graphic novels. And, you know, she'd gotten Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys and stuff. And she'd made some comments about some of the language. And I was like, okay, mom's mental note right there. Well, I was folding clothes at the bed and she came in to sit with me and she plopped down with her book and I looked at the cover of the book and it was a girl hugging a boy and the title was Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. And I was like, what is this book? What are you reading? And she's like, I don't know. It just looked good to me. I was like, what is it about? May I please see it? And I looked at the back and I was like, I don't think this is appropriate for your age. And she's like, well, I've read other books that have had like words in them and stuff. And I was like, have they had sex in them? And she goes, what's sex again? I was like, I hadn't had the sex talk. I mean, we talk parts, but we hadn't had the entire sex talk yet. I was unsure what to say. I mean, now you don't just, there's so much to think about when you talk about like sex because you don't want to just make it biological, but you want to make it about consent and self-respect and blah, 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 and all of this other stuff, right? So fortunately, she just kind of like glossed over it. But I was like,
Mark, we need to have a talk.
So immediately, this is the benefit of having Her Health Collective. I got on relationship restoration. Adrian, I need your help. We are approaching the sex talk and I need to know exactly how to do it. And so I'm waiting for a reply email. But that was a very parenting humbling moment.
Yeah, I haven't even started to fathom something like the sex talk yet. So that's another benefit, I guess, is that I always know it's on the horizon.
But it's also
and Dr. Ziegler has that awesome course too.
Which we do have. We do have that course, but we've only gotten to the growth of boobs and bras. We haven't gotten into, and I don't even know if they talk about sex in that way. Like, I don't know how far she really takes it. Okay. But, it was one of those things where I was like, all right, I got to get on that.
All the things, I have a 4-year-old, so all the things I have to look forward to, I know now.
Then, one last thing, I talked to my therapist about it, and she was like, I read a statistic that most parents should be talking to their kids 2 years earlier than they're actually talking to them.
I believe that. I do. I've heard similar statements like that.
So perfect. If you think you're going to talk at 13, rewind it to 11 or rewind it. Yeah. Crazy. What about you?
So I had trouble thinking about this, but we actually just got back from the mountains, and it was a just good mom moments. There's just something about being away and seeing your child so excited and so happy to be in a new place and trying new things. We took her to Tweetsie Railroad,
I've always wanted
and
to do that.
she just loved the rides. Noah is over the moon. He's like, our child is going to love roller coasters. I am so happy. And meanwhile, I'm like, okay. However, I will say a scary mom moment happened at Tweetsie Railroad. We were sitting at a table eating our lunch, and the chairs kind of stick a little. And Kira was trying to get out of the chair, and the chair wouldn't move, so she just kind of leaned out, and she fell onto the ground, the concrete ground, and hit the back of her head. And I immediately just started wailing and crying, and of course my entire insides just felt like jelly. I felt like puking. My heart clenched up. She was fine. I, held her for a little while. She was scared more than anything. It was all fine. But that initial moment when you see your child fall or get hurt in that way, it was horrible. But we went on to ride the gondolas and the...
Did you have to get ice for it?
No, she, after about like a minute or two of crying, she was just like, I want my juice box. And there you go. It was all fine. So,
that's scary.
It was scary, but it was such a good day. It was such a good trip. The mountains are always beautiful. She loves the mountains. She's a girl after my own heart, and just,
That's great. I'm so glad you had a really relaxing trip and recharged and everything.
Yeah.
That's always nice to do.
Yes.
We had a new podcast come out.
Yes. It's
Kim
a good
Hawley.
one.
Kim Hawley from Strength Through Story. She was delightful to talk to. Really, really great. I came away with so many little nuggets, but one of the nuggets that stuck with me was and I actually wrote my newsletter about this, so you can go in and check out the newsletter as well. But
I liked that newsletter.
Thank you. Thank you. I talked about how I've been in therapy for a while, and my therapists have, my prior years when I first started, she was like, I think journaling would be really beneficial for you. And so I said, okay. So I got into it for a while. This was before kids, before husband, whatever. And I was really good about writing in it. Then life took over. I got more worried about people finding it. I got more worried about people reading it, not knowing what to do with it. So I stopped doing it. And I talked about this with Kim. And she said, it doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to write a lot.
Yeah.
You just keep writing. Just write little things and just keep writing, because it has to come out. And I loved that part.
Yeah. Something I really loved from our conversation with Kim was she works with a lot of moms, and it's kind of like therapy through writing.
Mm-hmm.
And she talked a lot about the moms that she's worked with and what she's noticed as a trend. And she said that time and time again, she hears moms saying things like, I can't find something good to say about myself. And that just hit, I as someone who I teach fitness classes to the mom community,
mm-hmm.
and we did little activities like that. And I remember a lot of moms saying, like, write something you love about your body, write something you love about yourself, your personality, you as a mom. And so many women struggle to do that, and it always hit home with me. And to hear Kim, who has worked with so many moms, say something similar really, really struck a chord with me. She talked about how social media and so many moms get into this trap of comparing themselves to what is portrayed on social media. And I know I do it.
Oh, gosh.
I do it.
Yeah, me too.
With parenting, with looks, with the business, with everything. Like, there's always this comparison. Social media is such a trap in that way. There's so many things I love about it, but that is one of the hard things. So we had a really interesting conversation, and she talked a lot about how if you keep all of those feelings bottled inside, it becomes something that just festers and will eventually lead to an explosion of sorts.
It's got to be a release.
There has to be a release.
Yeah.
It has to be writing, which is what she's big on, or talking to someone, whether it's a good friend or a therapist or whatever the case may be. So that was something that really resonated with me.
That was good.
It's such a great episode. Definitely go check it out. Let us know what you think. And on this note of the podcast, we're in the top 5 finalists for the WRAL Voters' Choice Awards for Mama Needs a Moment. So please, please, please go vote. The link is in our bio, and you just scroll down. It's in the professional and entertainment category under podcast. Just click on Mama Needs a Moment, and we are so, so grateful. I believe you have through November 21st to vote. So please do that. We appreciate it.
Our shirts.
Yes, it's our last week.
Yes. It's our hashtag. So our hashtag challenge, which is Love This Body, and our shirts that we put together for this as well. All the proceeds, a portion of the proceeds go to
Beauty Redefined.
Beauty Fruit Redefined. Sorry, I had a brain skip.
Mom brain. Totally good. That's what we're here together.
I've been really kind of like mellow this morning. Do you have those?
No, what's that like?
Not in terms of like what's demanding of me, but like my mood has been just really reserved. And so.
Well, sometimes that's nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yes, so snag your shirt. You've got a few more days, and help contribute to a really great organization. They're an amazing nonprofit, and we're so excited to raise some funds for them. And the shirts are super soft, so they're great to add to your closet. Yes, it's the same.
This is the same.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like
Fondle.
Okay, maybe I did. Yes, so do that. And then Friday, we have our next installment of the Year of Yes Challenge. And this is where we look at... Yes, this was my month, overcoming one of my fears, which is needles.
But it was beneficial to me, too. I mean, I think that we're finding that with all of...
Oh, totally. It's awesome to do each of these together, either as a support team or... I mean, I think a lot of the things are mutually scary, or it's not supposed to just be like fears. It's also trying new things or stepping outside of our comfort zone. And I think it is great for both of us to do that. And it's awesome to have somebody to do it with together. So
and hold your hand.
Yes, and hold hands.
She held my hand, you guys.
We've done that on a number of our
when we jumped in the water.
Yeah.
Although you didn't hold my hand for the plunge. That one.
No, that was kind of...
Here,
I was back here, you were over there. Yeah. So that's coming out on Friday. Give it a watch. There's some funny faces.
Oh, are there?
Yes.
I haven't seen the clips at all.
Yeah, there's some funny faces for you guys to check out. So that's what we've got for our update, our semi-monthly update for you. So stay tuned. And also, just one last little thing. We have a very, very special offer coming to the moms on our wait list right after Thanksgiving, aka I think Black Friday. So you're gonna want to get your name on the wait list if you're looking for community, if you want some fun events to do with some mom friends or your kiddos or your family, if you want to connect with some amazing experts. Get your name on that wait list. It's no obligation, but there's going to be a good little deal coming out to those of you on the wait list. So
hope to see your name.
Yeah. Take care.